Welcome to the show. Today we have
Ciardullo,
vocalist, guitarist, and producer, best known for his savage growls, chaotic deathcore riffs, and music production, associated with bands like Angelmaker, Carcosa, Bastion, and more. We're honored to have him on the show. Let's get into it.
Hey, we had to add that, man.
I love that it was like a literal robot saying my name. That was awesome.
When I told Sean that I had hit you up and I was like, I asked him, how to pronounce his last name. And I said, we'll just Google Translate it. And then we come together. We're like, we got to leave this. We're going to put it in the.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is don't ever trust Google Translate.
No, definitely not. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, for sure. So it's Ciardullo, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, man, welcome. Glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. That song rips, dude. Can you tell us a little bit about writing this newest stuff for Angelmaker?
Man, it took a long time. I started writing this material about 3.5 years ago. So I finished like pretty much all the songs on the record that I wrote. I finished that long ago. And then we've, been sitting on that. Colton finished his songs as well, our other guitar player who's a primary songwriter. And yeah, we went into the studio a very, very long time ago. And doing the mix for the album took a really long time too. We're a very particular group of people, so we want to make sure that the album was done right. And, there was a lot of pressure on us as well. We had a vocalist change, so we really wanted to make sure that our new vocalist, Ian, was represented in the right way. So we took our time with the album.
That's good, man. How is the change? I know. So your previous vocalist, he left in 24, right?
Yeah, we parted ways then.
Yeah. And then you picked up Ian. So how did that go with the whole, did you guys know Ian previously, or was that?
Yeah, so the guys had toured with Ian when he was in Rings of Saturn years ago, and they had always just espoused about how much they loved Ian. He's a seasoned veteran of vocals. That guy has toured the world. He's done some really DIY tours that you really had to grind through. He's done all of it, and he seems to just nail it every single time. He's just such a good natural performer that when we decided that we wanted somebody else, Ian was the first and only person we thought of.
Yeah, he's doing a hell of a job, dude.
Yeah,
the music sounds great. And how about for you? So you joined in 2020, right?
Correct. Yeah. COVID,
yeah. So I'm going to call you the third guitar player, right?
It's accurate.
whether you're the third or however you guys number yourself, but how does that work in the writing world for the band? And do you all contribute differently, or do you all kind of just maybe you could tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. Well, the good thing about having so many members in a band is you can lean on different people for different strengths that they have. For example, Matt Perrin is an unbelievable guitar player. Not even just from a technical standpoint, Matt is just a very good emotional player. He plays with a lot of feel, mixed in with his technicality. I think that makes him a very unique guitar player. So anytime we really need a chorus lead, or I'm not writing solos, I'm more of a rhythm guy, so we lean on Matt for that. I was initially brought into the band to help Colton with writing, because Colton, like I said, is the primary and original guitar player and the primary writer. So he was writing all of the material and he wanted help. And COVID seemed like a really good time to get that help because nobody was touring, all that kind of stuff. I hadn't even announced that Carcosa was a thing yet, which is pretty crazy in terms of timeline.
Yeah.
So I came in and I helped Colton with writing. When we did Sanctum, it was pretty much split right down the middle, 50-50. I wrote half the record and Colton wrote half the record. And then we bring in Matt to basically do all the lead work, and harmonies and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, it's been really awesome, man. Colton and I work really well together. The whole group of boys work really well together. There's not really like, with having that many cooks in the kitchen, you think that maybe ego would come into it, but that
Right.
has never been the case for this band, which is awesome. It's more like we're all just going for the accumulative goal of writing good music. So we don't shut down ideas if they're good. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what a great way to do it, honestly. It's got to be helpful. I know that feeling too, where it's like I just need another set of ears and eyes on this, you know?
Yeah, you need that unbiased opinion to kind of keep you in check, right? Because you can surround yourself in your own echo chamber and you can think something is good or, something like that. But once you send it to somebody else and they tell you their honest opinion, that's to me more valuable. So I really lean on the boys and the homies for that.
Okay. So with Angelmaker, were you already like, because you and Colton are both, are you and Matt are both in Bastion also, correct?
No, so I'm the only member in Angelmaker that's in Bastion. Bastion is my third project
Yeah.
with entirely different people. So that one's just me. I get
Oh, okay.
to I get to solely just be a vocalist in Bastion, which is nice. I don't really have like any major like logistical duties like I do in Carcosa and Angelmaker. I strictly just get to be a vocalist in Bastion, and it's also my outlet for doing clean vocals because I sing a lot too. So it's really nice to have Bastion for that reason.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, I was
awesome.
telling Sean, I was like, because Sean hadn't heard of Bastion, and forgive me for the pronunciation, but uh
It's all good.
I was like, dude, you need to hear that. I said, because he does a lot more cleans, which if people follow you, your YouTube channel, you dabble with all kinds of like doing the pain remains and with all clean vocals and
Yeah.
you're a very versatile vocalist. So
Thank you. That's very
uh
kind.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. It's good stuff.
when that first told me that you were coming on, I'm like, that's the guy that does the funny videos with Andrew Vena, right? The where you guys are like doing verses, but like the
Yeah.
lyrics are fucking goofy and
Definitely
hilarious.
Yeah.
pickup lines, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely it. We did those for a longer time than I think people realize.
Yeah, dude, I think they were great. I think you should still dabble for sure.
We need time. We need
I
the
know,
time to
right?
do it.
Yeah, you're both busy for sure.
Yeah.
Then I checked out Carcosa and I'm like, well, they're playing extended scale guitars. I like that.
That's definitely our thing. It's a crutch we lean on for sure.
That's some low tuning. What are you guys in, like drop F or drop? Uh,
Carcosa is drop E, but because we're crazy little guys, we do a lot of pitch shifting, so we often go lower than that.
Good job.
Yeah.
Now you guys must be using those overdrive pedals or something to keep it clear.
Yeah, we for a long time we were using the Digitech Whammy Live because it really is the best pedal for pitch shifting and stuff. But we've been doing everything pretty internal recently. But technology now has gotten to a very good place where we can tune so low it doesn't even matter.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what's your writing like? Are you contributing on the guitar writing in Carcosa as well, or?
Yeah, so I do a really hefty chunk of the instrumental writing in Carcosa as well. It's kind of like my um it's my outlet for writing truly like original music that I want to make and like the boys in Carcosa want to make. The great thing about Angelmaker is I have a reference point. I have years of music that has already existed to reference. So I do my best to honor the legacy that Colton has built and I try and write my music to complement and reflect what he's made. Where with Carcosa, I don't really have those rules, if you want to say that. I can kind of have the freedom to write whatever I want. So with Carcosa, I do that quite a bit. Like Vermin, for example, one of our more popular songs, I wrote that song during COVID by myself in this office. And did the guitars, I programmed the drums, bass, did the vocals, sent it off, and that's it. But we do collaborate quite a bit as well. When Carcosa collaborates, we all get together in the same room and we sit down and we try and hash out as many songs together, because it truly is like, it's beneficial to write with other people too, like kind of how we were saying before. You don't want to get stuck in an echo chamber of just writing by yourself all the time. So being in a room with other people and bouncing off of their reactions is a really good way to get good products.
Yeah, it's like the original band days, right? Where
Yeah.
you actually wrote together. It's so easy now to be able to be in different parts of the world and still be in projects together, which is great.
I think
But
it's cool
I do
too.
think that feel is important.
I agree.
So when you guys get together, do you play to your amps, or are you both sitting hooked into like the audio interface, or how?
Well, if you've seen Andrew's YouTube videos and stuff, he's got a pretty extensive array of gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Man. Oh yeah.
so luckily with Andrew, when we go and write at his place, we kind of have like, what do you want to pick? Like it's like a guitar center, honestly. Like there's so much shit. There's so much shit in there. But yeah, we kind of just, we plug into Andrew's setup. We very much rely on plugins. That's more our thing. We don't really fuck with cabs and more analog gear like that. We're definitely a digital leaning band. And that's a blessing and a curse depending on your opinion on that. But
Yeah.
we get a lot done with plugins, and it gives us a lot of freedom to really edit our tone and make it as unique as possible. But obviously there's a lot of merit to, like, with Angelmaker we reamp, so when we track all of our stuff, we send our DIs through a cab and we get that real cab tone.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wondered, like, because back then versus now, to me, it'd probably be a lot more convenient to just plug into an audio interface instead of like figuring out like the room volume for each amp, and yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time doing that kind of stuff. And I always give like props and kudos to people that do it and have it sound awesome. There's so many bands that still hold on to that sound. Like I know pretty much everybody that goes through Will Putney is getting that treatment, but he's got the time, he's got the space for it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass if you don't like. I always, I've always been a tone chaser, and yeah, there's always those people online like there's nothing better than tube, and I'm like, yeah, but in a mix, does it really matter? But when if I did want to do it here, there's so many damn options. Like you could go with like an amp loader, or you could just do it the microphone way. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna stick with plugins for now.
Yeah. And honestly, there's so many good cab sims out there too that do a very similar thing. And then you can choose from any cab that's ever been made.
Right.
Right.
That's a pretty sick option too, even if it is digital. Like somebody already did all the hard work to create this emulation. So me personally, I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yep.
Yeah, to me it makes sense too, as like a touring musician, to less is more. I know you still have like the ups and downs of when you're playing a place that might not have the front of house that you need as far as getting that sound out there, but especially when you're overseas and you're trying to rent gear, to me, I would rather be able to, just my opinion. I mean, I love cabs, don't get me wrong, and heads, and they have their own place. I just think it'd be easier.
A lot of people now are really focusing on at least sending a signal through a cab, even
Yeah.
if you're still using modelers. At least for the stage volume. Because like if you're playing a smaller venue and the front of house fills are facing over top of the front of the crowd and it's just shooting over, everybody in the front row is hearing drums and footsteps. So I get that. Like it's that kind of part of the show might take you out of it. But for me, for one of 7 people in Angelmaker, I worry about our stage footprint. I want to make sure that our changeover and like getting on stage is fast. So if we have 3 cabs and then a bass cab and then all of us, that's so much shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
Sure.
god.
so
Yeah.
we're digital forever, you know. Carcosa has messed around with having cabs live, reamping live, and it's fine because we're a 4 piece. So we'll
Yeah,
probably still do that.
that's cool. I
Yeah,
like the versatility amongst each project that you're doing.
it
Well,
keeps it fresh.
now Bastion, you guys haven't played out a ton, right? Or have?
No, it's funny. The only show we ever played was February 8th, 2020, and it was with Spirit Box. It was a
Hmm,
free show at a little venue in Vancouver called the Railway Club, and there couldn't have been more than 100 people there. Like it was a very small, intimate show. It was one of Spirit Box's first shows as well. It was their first show with their current drummer Zev, and that to date has been the only show I've ever done with Bastion. It's not really a project that will be like a touring project. A lot of the guys that are in the band are from like an older generation of Vancouver bands, so they've done a lot of touring already, and I think that they are okay with just kind of doing shows here and there. Our guitar player also got in a motorcycle accident, which really derailed things for a few years. He's okay now, but very long recovery. So it kind of put the band on the back burner, unfortunately. But very proud of the music. I'm very proud to put out the EP that we put out. And yeah, everything's good.
yeah, man, that's I did read that about your guitar player. That's unfortunate. I'm glad he's doing good.
He is, yeah. We love him.
So, how are you doing? Like, what's your balance when you have these 3 big projects, and then you're also still like doing your stuff with your YouTube and uh I'm sure there's things behind the scenes we don't even know that you're doing.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a workaholic, self-admitted. I like to be busy, and I think balancing all these plates that I have can definitely become strenuous at some points, but it's always been worth it, and that's why I keep doing it. Um, yeah, I tour a lot. I tour times 2 because I'm in 2 bands. And Angelmaker is full time. Carcosa is not full time touring, but it fills my schedule up like crazy. So last year was the most I had ever toured. I was away for 9 months out of the 12, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and in between that, I like to keep myself busy and also make a little bit of extra income because the life of a musician is very fragile. Anything can change at any moment. You know, one day you're popular, maybe the next day you're not. So I always like to keep my doors and my avenues open, and I like to work as much as possible. And when I'm home, I do a lot of ghostwriting for people that approach me and ask to have songs written for them. I do a lot of feature work, which I love doing. That's like a really good chunk of my income is doing feature work. And it's really fulfilling, honestly. I love doing features. It's always something different. Like if you want to talk about variety, you know, people ask you so many different things to write or how they like things done. You kind of have to adapt and change as you go, which I personally love. It keeps it so fresh. But yeah, it's a healthy balance. I could probably take a break more, you know, but I'd rather do this. It's way more fun.
No, that's cool, man. Now, are you doing feature work from a vocalist and guitarist standpoint or one or the other?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the feature work I do is vocals for sure. I don't get asked to do solos and that's fine. I don't really want to do them. um but yeah, if I get asked to do any guitar stuff, it's usually like maybe a vocalist who doesn't have the ability to play guitar will hire me to write songs for them kind of thing. And that's fun. I like doing that.
Okay. And and I can see that being so you have a musical background as far as education, correct?
Yes, I do. I went to school for it. I got a degree in audio production and I studied contemporary jazz theory. Did any of those things really do anything for me? It's up for debate. But I loved school. I loved going to school for music. I was just like fully surrounded by super talented musicians all the time. It was also one of the first times in my life I was surrounded by other people that listened to the same music that I listened to. I'm from a small town in the interior of BC, and there's no scene there. There were never shows. Nobody really listened to metal except for like a handful of people. So it was really cool to go to school and be around like-minded people. It was very like invigorating and inspired me to really want to do music more. And I learned a lot of technical ability. I learned theory, which I didn't know before going to school. Um, I won't say that I use it a lot, but it's definitely a tool that I have in case I need to. So I'm glad I can speak the language, but for the most part, I write my music based on how I feel, not like I want to play this mode. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, man, I learned so much at school and I played so much music. I played live so much. It made me have to build my chops like right away.
Is there anybody like during that school time that you that went on to do big things that you know, outside of school?
Um in my class, I don't think so. I mean, it depends on how you measure success, let's say. There's people in my class that went on to be professional musicians. Like they do it for work. So
Nice,
I would say that that is a great level of success coming out of music school.
for
Sometimes
sure.
people just go for passion, and that's cool too. But a good chunk of my classmates, yeah, they either like play in cover gigs, like really popular ones that play weddings or, you know, do commercial events, stuff like that. Or people went on to become teachers or music therapists. So, yeah, I mean, I think I might be the only one in my class that tours full time. Um, but again, that's just a different measure of success, you know?
That's cool. Do you keep up with any of those people?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know a bunch of them a lot. A lot of us moved to Vancouver where I live because where we went to school was an even smaller town than where I grew up. So if you want to be successful at all, you got to give yourself a chance, right? So we all moved to the big city, and a lot of us are still here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, um, shit, you had me thinking of something there. I think when I say go on to do big things, a musical therapist, that's a big thing. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? A professional musician at a yacht rock band is a big thing. You know, I guess any of that success to me is you made it, you know?
dude, it's like, and I'm not talking shit, but it's like I don't think I could do 9 to 5 anymore. It's just not how my lifestyle is now, and I'm used to this. But like, if you can walk away from that life and your day involves learning songs and playing guitar or drums or
Yeah.
bass or singing, then dude, you won the lottery, in my
Yeah.
opinion, anyways, you know?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I always
I do
tell
want to
Matt.
say, well, what'd you say, Sean? Sorry.
I always I always tell Matt, like, I would get so much shit done. Like if I could prioritize like just music and content creation and shit. It's just like after the 9 to 5, like up here is like I want to do it, but I don't want to do
You're
it.
drained, right? It's
Yeah.
I get I understand the grind. I was there. I did that for longer than I've done this. Like, you know, I before I toured full time, I ran a venue for 8 years. And I got to learn a lot about the industry, but it was still a job. Like I would clock in, I would do that, and then all of my other music stuff had to be done after the fact. And the only real way I ended up being able to do this full time was because the world ended because of COVID. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everything came to a full stop. And that was my opportunity to take advantage of a obviously really shitty situation. But I did content creation full time. That's when Andrew and I started, you know, really gaining popularity with TikTok and stuff because it was so new. So a lot of it is luck, genuinely.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's go ahead, Sean.
I'm just saying I'm happy for you that you got that
Yeah.
opportunity. That yeah, that's that and both you and Andrew Dana, you guys have created such great content and funny and like whether I've been scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, I always have to stop and watch it. I'm like, oh God, what are they gonna say now?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot to us. We definitely post a lot, and it's never really missed on us how much it can mean to people, and we cherish that people even give a shit at all. So thank you for watching.
Hell yeah,
Oh yeah,
hell
for
yeah, man.
sure. We always will. I think I don't think people realize, and people do and people don't, but the work that it takes just to try to stay relevant and on top of your stuff, putting content out, just speaking into a microphone, like even for us on the podcast, and we're relatively, new at with this podcast, and every day is every episode I feel like is a learning curve to an extent,
For sure, yeah.
and I don't think people realize sometimes the behind the scenes and what it takes to put in. They just think, oh, well, he's just hitting record or she, and they, talk on there and they have a million views. It isn't always that way.
There's a lot of steps it takes to get there. And even when you get there, it's hard to maintain. Like TikTok is a really good example of that because TikTok is like a flash in the pan kind of thing
Mhm.
where you could blow up on TikTok for a week and you're the shit. You get a crazy amount of views, but once those views start to go down, how do you manage it? It's
Right.
you
Right.
have to be able to deal with the ups and downs of social media because things change so much. They change faster than any of us can truly keep up with. So I think people could go easier on themselves in that way. Like if you're not getting the average views you want or the success you need right away, you just got to be patient
Yeah.
because you just keep doing it, you keep posting, it's bound to happen at some point, or you're going to gain better listeners and viewers that come back more often. You're building a
Yeah.
fan base. It might just take a little bit longer. Like Andrew's been on YouTube for like 13 years.
Whew.
Like that's over a decade of trial
Right.
and error,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So what is your, do you have anything coming up as far as your YouTube channel, things you want to do or that you can talk about as far as the
That's
behind the scenes covers or anything that you're doing or you'd
that's
like
a
to
good
do?
question. Because I've been touring so much, I haven't had a lot of time to focus on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has kind of always been the place where I truly kind of just do whatever I want.
Mhm.
I don't really have like a goal. Like I'm not on YouTube to like blow up. If videos do really well, that's cool. You know, like the Lorna Shore, full clean singing of Pain Remains Part 1, 2, and 3. I did that because the first video I did was the Pain Remains album with clean vocals, and people asked if I would do parts 1, 2, and 3, and I did. And it was cool and it did well. But besides that, my YouTube channel is just my dumping ground for stuff I like to do. So recently, what I've been doing, and it kind of happened by accident, is I've been covering just some songs behind the scenes just to kind of practice because I don't really practice technique and stuff that much, especially with guitar. I kind of like do what I know I can do and I kind of just focus on that. But since I've been home from tour and I've had a longer time home than normal, I've decided to pick on some songs and try to cover them fully. So I have ended up covering like 6 songs or something like that. And I think I'm just going to release a covers EP and just put it out.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Because why not? I don't know. I can do whatever I want. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
that's
Cannibal
that's
Corpse
sweet.
cover you did.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
funny I'm wearing the shirt, but yeah, I forget what song. I know it was from the Wretched Spawn. It has that crazy guitar work in it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Frantic Disembowelment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got to cover that with one of my favorite drummers of all time, Alex Rudinger, which was awesome. He's a
Oh, yeah.
amazing drummer.
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
I still remember the first time I saw them play that in the studio on the DVD, and that their guitarist and bassist and I mean, they're all crazy good, but
They're all cracked. Alex Webster is one of the best bass players that have ever walked the face of this earth, in my opinion.
yeah,
For
like
sure.
I shown that video to a couple bass players, and they're like, no,
Nope.
what's going on?
But dude, even Pat O'Brien, like the guy that wrote that song,
Mhm.
damn man,
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I was always a fan of Pat and Jack, and what a great band overall, a pioneer of kind of where we are today, right?
The reason why we do it.
Yeah, man. I did see in another interview that you've been a part of, and just talking about your love for death metal bands and metal bands of the past that are willing to adapt to the new genre, the new sounds that are coming out, you know, and you mentioned Cannibal Corpse as far as I think you quoted saying your manager doesn't have to ask permission, just book you, right? Is that
Book us, dude. If Cannibal Corpse wants to tour with us, we're absolutely going. Like, we'll open, dude. We'll watch the floors. I don't give a shit. Like, we'll do that tour. Um, yeah, and I still stand on that ground. Like, I love that
yeah,
there are death metal bands that are willing to take out younger bands and just broaden their horizons a little bit. Like, they've all had long careers, so you can't take away from them the success that they've already had. But if they want to keep moving up, like if they are at all interested in having the bar moving this way, why not take out the younger generation of bands? Like, introduce your fans that have been a fan of your band for 40 years, maybe to something new, and
right.
maybe they'll like it
hmm
or they won't. Whatever,
yeah,
at
Yep.
least take the shot, like just try. And if anything, it'll bring more people to your shows and you'll sell even more tickets and everybody wins,
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
Hell yeah.
definitely. Do you feel like the industry today, as far from your perspective, do you think there's more of a brother sisterhood than there was, like, because I think back to like when Sean and I were doing band stuff in 2007, like early deathcore. um it was a little bit more standoffish, you know, everybody was trying to like earn their place. um do you feel more of that, like I said, camaraderie, maybe, as far as especially when you're going out on these tour legs and you're spending a big majority of your time with other bands?
Oh yeah. Uh Most definitely. I've had the privilege of being able to have these conversations with, people that ran so we could walk, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like talking to Chris Garza about the early days of Suicide and even talking, we just toured with Whitechapel recently, so getting to talk to Phil about
Oh,
the early
sick.
days of deathcore and what it was like for them. It was hard, man. Like even with like Carnifex too, like they were constantly being shit on by other bands. Deathcore bands didn't have a place in metalcore because metalcore at the time was too different from deathcore,
Mhm.
and death metal didn't want anything to do with deathcore.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it was kind of like a fear what you don't understand kind of thing. And then because all of those bands were just getting shit on, doing tours was so hard. Like getting on good tours was really hard. So a lot of those bands were at each other. Like even Chris or like Garza interviewed Phil, and they said that to each other.
Yeah.
They used to feud, or not feud, but they would it was always like dog eat dog. Like we need to be better than you, but
hmm
that mentality has changed entirely. Those guys, all they want to do is pass the torch now, and I love that. I think that's so admirable. Like, what better role models than these guys that have done it, and they are encouraging you to keep doing it, and they're bringing you out on their tours, and they're like, come on stage and sing with us. Like Suicide Silence gave us that opportunity when we toured with them the first time, and it was like
Sick.
I couldn't believe it.
Hell yeah.
Like getting to
Huge.
like go up on stage and do No Pity for a Coward. It's amazing. Like if you told 12-year-old me that was going to happen, I would tell you to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like they are giving those opportunities to people. And I think that we're in the best place we could be right now when it comes to camaraderie. And even within the new wave of bands like us and Signs of the Swarm and everybody else, like we're all tight. We all love each other. And anytime I see those bands doing good things, I'm gonna glow them up. Like everybody eats. You know what I mean? I wake up every
Yeah.
day and I thank Lorna Shore. You know?
Right. So what do you think changed? Do you think we're just all a little older and wiser, or do you think it's just the genre grew and um, it's just able to be done easier? I don't know.
I think it's two things. I think everybody got tired of fighting.
Mhm.
And the genre became lucrative.
Mhm.
And that gave way for those old school bands to finally lean into being deathcore. They no longer had to code it with something else. Like
Yes.
for ages, Carnifex always said they were a death metal band. They're not a death metal band. They are a deathcore band. And
Yeah.
now they lean into that more than anything, which is smart. You absolutely should do that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's just the natural flow of things. Lorna Shore blew up and they brought so much attention to what deathcore is. So many people started asking questions. So many people wanted to learn more about the genre. So they went back to the origins. And then those bands that struggled for so fucking long dealing with people shitting on them, they get their flowers now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of them do it right and they lean into it to the right way. And then I don't know what, maybe some bands will do it and they'll come back. Maybe they won't. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just that it was a mentality change that happened because money and popularity. And then it's just easier to get along, dude.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I think the way you're saying it's perfect too. It just lucrative is a great way to put it because it's not even necessarily money from like a greed standpoint. It's money just like, hey, we're able, like you said, everybody's getting fed. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We're able to look at just from like tour life on a mobile standpoint, like your DIY vans that you guys are traveling in or buses. Um, Early band days, that was just you were just piled over each other like sardines, no built bunks, no heat,
Nope.
no,
Nope, it was
AC.
not glamorous at all. And I feel privileged that I kind of got to fast track that joining Angelmaker when I did. I'm a very aware of my touring privilege. But
Yeah,
like I was saying, Ian, dude, like in rings, they just fucking slept on the benches and in between on the floor. Like
Oh, yeah.
all those
yeah,
guys, they did so much hard touring, man. No heat in the winter, like
yeah,
crazy
that's
shit.
brutal.
Yeah, putting your life at risk every single time you drive at night, like it was
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah, I can't imagine. I always tell a story. A friend of Sean and I, he was in a band called Dweller. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They were like an early deathcore band, but he talked about like waking up in like Texas and his belly button was full of sweat and like
Oh,
he's like you'd have to like drink yourself to sleep because it was so hot and
yeah.
I'm like, ah, brutal.
Going back to what you were saying about like the origin bands, it's been really cool to see some of like the early metalcore bands do like a reunion or like a regrouping or like a reunion tour. One of the latest ones I saw was Elijah.
Yeah.
And to see them come back and the crowd response is absolutely insane. And I'm just like, that must feel so awesome to come back almost like 20 years later and people are just going ape shit.
Dude, that's a prime example of like patience pays off.
Yeah.
Right.
Like at the time, when those guys were young and obviously they broke up, they were probably like, well, bye. I guess this is it. Never doing this again. And
Right.
then you get so much love and admiration from everybody years later because of this second wave.
Yeah.
And you get the opportunity to do it again, which is so rare in this industry, getting to do it again after so many years of not doing it. Like, dude, Tony Danza just put out a new song.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Sick.
And
That's awesome.
that's a
I
perfect
love,
example.
yeah, I love that I'm on the timeline where I get to hear new Tony Danza. It's
Yep.
so fucking cool. Or like Shadows Fall is doing shows again, and like the Red Chord. It's awesome. We're in such a good time right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I imagine being in a band like yourself too, able to share stages with some of these powerhouse bands that, like you said, you thought would never be back around, and they may not have either. And you're like, holy shit, here I am singing "No Pity for a Coward," or
I know. Yeah, I don't get used to that, and I think that's a good thing.
no,
I don't want to get used to it.
yeah,
I like having that childlike wonder every time I get to be on the same stage as my heroes. You know, I'm very lucky.
for sure.
Speaking of Danza, that's who I've been watching all day. Joshua Travis has been streaming on Twitch doing audio production.
Yeah.
And it's awesome watching him dive into like just how focused he is like on just like the kick and the snare and like owning in on all the background noise and shit. And I'm really jealous of how easy he can put drum tracks together. Like it's like he's playing the kit, but like moving the dots, knowing exactly where everything goes. And I'm over here. I'm like, okay, what does tune track have for like a pre-engineered groove beat, and then I'll tinker with it to get it to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
That's just like his
especially
workflow,
from
dude.
like a fill standpoint. You know what I mean? I think that's what impresses me when you can just single hit a crazy ass fill and just come up with that off the top of your head, and you're not a drummer. You know what I mean? But I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess you are. You
That's
know?
what happens when you write a lot of songs and you
Yeah,
practice writing songs, and you're aware that not all of your songs are going to be good, but you do it because repetition legitimizes. That's pretty much just how it is. You just make it work, and then it becomes second nature, you know?
Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think I've been at work at like 3 in the morning. Josh was on. I came back on at like the end of my day, and he was still like on the same 2 minute clip, like tweaking. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
OCD.
I'm like, I'm not there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, even that's intense. You know, I get to a point in my writing where I need to move on at some point. Like if for me personally, for my workflow, if I'm stuck on a part and I can't get past it, chances are I probably just won't even finish the song and I'll start something else. Like when
Yeah,
it becomes a flow and I know where I'm gonna go next, then I'm like, all right, this is easy. This is how it should feel. Once it starts to feel like I'm like forcing a circular peg into a square hole, I stop.
right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I
Mhm.
like something else you said just a little bit ago. You were talking about focusing on playing what you like, and I forgot how you said this. You said like within your wheelhouse. You're like
Yeah.
I'm playing, and I think that's something I struggle with, man. Is I'm always wanting to be this guitar player that I feel that I'm not, instead of just honing in on what I know I can do. And I'm not saying being complacent with those things, but I think, I feel like I'm always reaching, right? I don't know if you ever have that type of feeling, but I think you described it well. It's like, no, I'm good at this, and this is what I do, whether you're a rhythm
Yeah.
or lead guitarist, or right.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you want to spend your time playing your guitar.
Hmm.
I want to spend my time enjoying playing it, and
Hmm.
that means leaning on my strengths and
Yes.
just really trying to perfect it, you know. But I also don't want to be narrow-minded. That's kind of why I like to do covers of songs that maybe are a little bit outside my wheelhouse. Nothing crazy. Like if it gets to the point where I have to hyper edit everything, I'm probably just not gonna do it.
Right.
You know? But like, yeah, I like doing the stuff I'm good at. If it sounds good, I want to do it more. And it's kind of the same thing with vocals too. Like I'll cover songs that are a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, but at the same time, I want to stick to what I know and harness the skills that I have, you know?
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing vocals? Did you start on guitar or did you start with vocals?
I'm an instrumentalist first. I started on guitar very young and not trained at all. I just wung it, you know, tuned my guitar to drop C when I was a kid and just play breakdowns. That was kind of it.
Nice.
But yeah, I did guitar first and foremost, and that was my primary instrument. It was my major when I was in school was guitar, not vocals. But it kind of went hand in hand because I was so young and ready to soak in so much as a kid when deathcore was coming out. I was obviously drawn to the vocals because the vocals are fucking crazy. And
Oh yeah.
everyone's always just like, how is that humanly possible? And
Right.
I wanted to know how it was humanly possible. So what I used to do was just emulate bands that I liked. Like I would cover Whitechapel, I would cover Phil and try and do the things that he would do. And vicariously I kind of just ended up learning techniques, not knowing anything about them or how they worked or how I got there, but I was doing it somehow. And then I just kept doing it over and over and over again. I just kept doing it. And I would say I've professionally done vocals for, I don't know, 7 years. I've done
Okay.
it longer than that, but all the time before that was just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks and
Yeah.
doing it wrong.
I
You
was going to
know,
ask you how long before you felt like, all right, I think I have a hold on this, you know?
damn, pretty recent memory. like, like it would have had to have been like once I actually started doing vocals live more is when I realized like, okay, I can do both of these things. I'm not just like a studio vocalist. Like I'm able to do both. And even then I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly trying to improve. I mean, we're all getting older. Our bodies are naturally fading into nothingness. So I need to maintain myself as much as I can. So that means like maintaining my throat and my health and being able to keep up with the techniques that I've been doing, you know?
Hell
Do you
yeah.
want to talk about that at all? Like things as far as just healthy technique that you like to do, whether it's vocal warm-ups or um, I've heard of vocalists that, pre-show they really don't speak a whole lot during the day. They try to kind of, maintain quietness.
Yeah, sure. I mean I get asked that question a lot and it's a good one to answer because I do preach vocal health and I preach warming up and cooling down more than anything. Like I don't really focus so much on like technique and vocal Olympics. That's not really my thing. If I'm capable of doing a lot of things, that's awesome, but I would rather focus on my tone being good and my lyrics being good as well. But um, that being said, I don't really know much about how I do my vocals. Like, I'm not very technical in that aspect. The only thing I know how to do is maintain my vocal health. So I often always do the same warm up before every show, or usually before I record. So on tour, I do lung expansion warm ups, which is I have a water bottle. It's about half full of water, and I have a metal straw. And I do intervallic blows. So I'll do a 25-second hold, I'll do 35, and I'll do 45, which means I'm just in the straw and I'm blowing into it. And what the water does through the straw is it acts as a resistor. It's very similar to where if you were lifting weights for your arms, you lift heavy weights and it builds muscle. Kind of the same idea, but with your lungs and your diaphragm. It really helps build endurance. And doing stuff like that before you go on stage helps so much because it would be like if you were running with weights on your ankles. Obviously, you're a bit slower, but you take those weights off of your ankles and
Yeah.
you're Usain Bolt, you're out of there, right? So I do that, but for vocals, I do all of my vocal warm ups through a water straw and I don't scream at all before warming up. I prefer singing. When I sing and do my warm ups, like my major scales, ascending and descending, I'm doing them in my full voice, like I'm doing them in my chest voice, which is a really quick way to warm up. My screams are fry, so I'm not a tunnel throat guy. I'm not a false chord guy. everything is in falsetto range. So singing for my warm-ups warms me up so much faster than it would if I was screaming. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then after the show, I do the same warm-up as a cool down, but I do it for half the amount of time. And that's kind of it.
That's wild. I've never heard about that straw
Yeah, me neither.
exercise. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can actually buy different straws that have different diameters, and the thinner they get, the harder it becomes. So like if you can see vocalists doing warm-ups with like these like coffee straws, they
Yeah.
got crazy breath control.
Oh man, so
Yeah, I remember like the emphysema as a kid, like they'd be like, this is what it's like to have emphysema, and they have you breathe through the coffee straw. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
basically
wild.
doing that, but for fun. So
I could see where that would work your diaphragm though, because it's kind of like you're trying to intake air or exhale air, but you can't, right?
it's a literal resistor, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
what
that's cool. That's a cool technique.
what you were
Mhm.
saying about like running with weights and like then taking the weights off. Both Matt and I, we recently bought 9-string guitars.
Yeah.
We've been practicing on the 9-string, and I'm like, Matt, so how little does that 8-string feel now? Because when you like switch back, like when I pick up a 6-string now, like it feels like a toy. I'm like, wow, this is so
Yeah.
weird.
It feels like you're gripping the whole thing and you could just crush it in your hands.
Yeah. I'm like, this
Yeah,
I
is
like
it's
it, man.
wild.
9 strings are fun.
Even when I switched from like, because I went from like early deathcore, we were playing EC 1000s, right? For
Oh yeah.
everybody. So to go from that even into the 7-string world, and then I feel like I went to eights pretty quick. And honestly, Carcosa, you guys probably influenced me quite a bit on the 8-string thing, like just because I felt like the tone was there. The early 8 strings and in guitar amps, it was like a muddy turd.
It was tough. Like I
know?
said, technology has taken us a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
But even that transition, I feel like playing the 8 for 20 minutes, and you pick your 7 up, and it's like Sean said, you feel like you can wrap your hand around it 3 times. But I think it's
Yeah.
good for stretching.
I love it. I think it's awesome, man. It
I like
shows,
to play all of them.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the luxury I have between the two bands too. Is with Angelmaker we play 7s,
Yeah.
and with Carcosa we play 8s. So I kind of get like the best of both worlds,
Yeah, for sure.
like
So you play Solar guitars, correct?
Correct.
And you have Aristides, right?
Yes, I was with Aristides before I was with Solar.
Yeah.
those guitars
Um,
look so interesting. Like, how is that like compared to wood? Like, is there a big difference, like tonality wise?
The thing with Aristides, however you want to pronounce it, I don't care. But when you play an Aristides, you can feel the difference because it resonates so much more. Like when you strum it, you can feel it resonate throughout the entire body, which for some people that could take some getting used to. But for me personally, I love it because it feels
Yeah.
like I'm almost playing like a hollow body guitar where I can feel all of the tone just like resonating through it. And the cool thing about Arium, the injection mold material that they use for it, is it resonates like wood, but it doesn't react like wood does to weather. So that was a really cool thing when it came to touring with the Aristides, is they are not affected by the weather at all. So like your neck doesn't move when you're on tour. Like if it's cold, it doesn't really matter. Whereas opposed to wood guitars, wood warps and it shrinks and it moves and it goes all over the place, right? So Aristides are amazing. Like the technology involved in those guitars is unbelievable. I still have a really good relationship with the company. Um, it's really cool to have a relationship with both companies I've been with where I can talk to the CEO of the company in a single message. Whereas if I was with somebody like Ibanez or ESP, that's basically impossible.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to have that, and that's what I appreciated about Aristides when I was with them. The only reason why I stopped playing Aristides live is because they're just too fucking expensive, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they're really expensive.
I get scared because the custom guitars that I get from them are one of a kind. They're not replaceable, and if they get fucked up, it's so hard to fix. So I wanted to develop a relationship with a company I knew I could rely on tours for tour support, and Solar was that company. And it was also cool to work with a CEO of a company who's also a content creator. So he
Mhm.
understands how both sides work. He understands the touring life and he understands the content side. So it was kind of just like a match made in heaven. It was just perfect. And then I kind of wanted to sweeten the deal with Solar, and I was like, well, all the boys in Angelmaker are down to switch. And then we all switched.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's crazy to me, and I might have talked about this. So we had a previous episode. We had a boutique guitar company. I say boutique loosely though, because Balaguer Guitars, they do production stuff too, right?
Yeah, they're
But,
they're kind of like on both sides of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's crazy to me how much like every Sunday with Ola, to me, he's got a new guitar. I'm like, how many different models are there? I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's the content creator in him, right? Is he knows how to retain watch time retention, and he knows how to keep people's attention. And
Yeah.
if they weren't making money on those guitars by they release new models every 2 weeks, which is
Ooh.
kind of their status quo. And they wouldn't do that if it didn't work. So
Yeah,
it
you're right.
works, you know?
Yeah, they make beautiful instruments for sure.
Yeah, I love them.
So what's your favorite so far? I've seen a clip you were playing an 8 from them too. Do you own that guitar as well?
Yeah, I do. The 8 that I have of theirs was Andrew's originally, but I borrow a lot of Andrew's gear because he runs out of space, as you can imagine. So I
yeah.
borrow a lot of his guitars, and I've kind of like indefinitely borrowed this one. And it was the 8 string that we wrote the first Carcosa material with. So I've been using it to pretty much write all of the Carcosa stuff. And it's a heavy fucking guitar. I'm glad I don't play it live because it has an Evertune in it, and that obviously adds a good chunk of weight. And it's
Yeah.
just a big fucking piece of wood, but I kind of like it. It just I feel like the chunkiness is there,
Yeah.
before I
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
play it. My favorite is I have a matte black one that has white binding, and it reminds me the most of like a really cool Ibanez RG and like a prestige model, and it plays a lot like it too. So that's kind of always been my main. Like the Solar necks are very similar to a Wizard neck, just a little bit thicker, and I love it. It's such a fun fucking guitar, man.
Well, isn't that what Ola's always chasing? Is the Prestige? Isn't that his guitar of choice? Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought so.
because he's a big Bertucci fan, right? So he
Yeah.
wants to always like. I think he really loves like those that like Picasso signature that Bertucci used back in the day. So I
Yeah.
think he's always chasing that, and I mean he's done it, but chase
Yeah,
away.
for sure. What's the scale length on that guitar?
The 7 is 25 and a half, I think. I think it's just standard 7 string length.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the 8?
The 8 is probably 27 and a half, if I
Well, yeah, that
had
makes
to
sense.
guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that half makes a big difference, man.
Fuck yeah,
I have
especially
a
if you're tuning low.
27. Yeah, man. I have a 27 on an 8. I have a 27 on a 7. And then I have another 8 that's a 27 and I think it's 27 like 5/8. It's an agile and an older one. But just string tension wise, I feel a big difference. And I've tried to play with like different gauge strings to duplicate that on the 27-inch scale, and I can't do it. I start losing tone, and it's
Yeah.
a whole mess. But
And then you're chasing string gauges, right? Now you're
Yeah.
experimenting with like 90s and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the tapers don't even fit,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I like to stick on an 8. Honestly, I like to stick with the 80 for my low. I'm going to call it my low E because I play drop E as well. So,
Yep. Yeah, I do the
but
same.
That's when
to me, that's comfortable.
I buy the hit
But I feel
shot.
the same thing. You're talking about that resonance with guitars and the Agile I have. It's a mahogany body and it's same deal. Real heavy guitar. But I really enjoy playing that guitar because I feel like I feel it. Like you're saying, I can feel
Yeah.
everything going through it, you know?
it has a response.
Mhm.
And with the moment you play it, the moment you start ripping away, it gives you a good feeling. That's why I've never really been the kind of person that likes to buy a bunch of guitars. Like, I'm happy to stick with the ones that work for me. That's generally how I've always been. Like,
Yeah.
for my solars now, I kind of just, if I have the opportunity to get a new solar, I'll get it because I just like to have something flashy, fun, and new for tour.
Oh yeah.
Like I like to match my outfits with my guitar. So I like to focus on that because I'm extra.
That's
but
all
That's
right.
nice.
but besides that, I don't really buy more than I need because I just don't really see why I need to. But I
Yeah.
get why people like it. It's a collector thing.
Oh yeah, I can see that too. You know what? I get an overwhelming feeling of taking care of them though.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I just, matter of fact, Sean and I are luthier. I just got 3 guitars back. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is too much, fret leveling and uh I can't afford another guitar right now.
Too much shit to pay attention to, man.
Yeah.
Every time I just take my workhorse guitars to my tech and I'm like, just do the same fucking thing you always do.
Yep,
That's all I need,
Yeah, that's
yep,
that
for sure.
that's kind of why I asked you about the Aristides guitars because I've been wanting to buy a studio guitar with an Everton in it just because I'm so tired of like every guitar take like retuning and retuning.
This
And
solves all your problems, brother.
yeah, like even the fact of like on an Everton when you're doing like a low E, like a boom, like it'll stay in tune without going flat, and I'm like, yeah, I need that.
Dude, Evertunes are a true godsend. Once you kind of understand them fully and you know how to set them up, it's like life is couldn't have gotten any better. Like for studio, we use my custom 070 Aristes generally for tracking all the time. It has an Evertune in it, and I put it in on the edge of zone 2, which is I want to be able to bend. I still want to be able to like have vibrato and bend notes. If I'm doing more like chordal stuff, like if I'm playing chords and I don't want to lose any tuning, then I'll keep them in zone 1 and they don't move an inch, which is so cool. But it saves time in studio. I don't want to have to tune every single take. I don't want to
Right,
have to change our strings every single day. Like it just kind of cuts that time in half.
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, I that and the wood, the temperature changes. I got like I'm always paying attention to the humidity in my room to make sure it's not too
Yeah.
damn dry and but yeah, just to have something that I could grab and I know it's gonna work and like I just feel like that would even motivate me even more to like sit down and start writing some music instead of be like, oh God, this is gonna be a shit show.
You never have to worry about it. Yeah, I mean, if you can get your hands on an Aristides that has an Evertune and just try it and see how you feel. I mean, I already know how you're gonna feel. And I apologize because you'll want to buy one.
Yeah,
But truly, man, even just an Evertune in general, if you can, and there's a lot of guitars now, production models that get made with them. They're starting to become a true industry standard for a reason. So they're
Yeah.
they're kind of more accessible now than they ever have been.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like they're on top of their game with just staying on the up and up with making, like multi-scale and just coming a long way with from the original just basic, model.
Yeah, well, they're a forward-thinking company. I can't remember the name of the owner, but he is an engineer, and the only thing he really focuses on is improving his patents. And he is okay with sharing his patents if it means that the technology will improve.
Yeah, that's big.
It's kind of similar to like Strandberg, how their necks were, the neck profile. He made that an open patent for other people to use because it's just really good technology. And I appreciate companies and people that are willing to share their work for the betterment of everybody else. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah, definitely. Uh,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's you just wonder in 10 years what these stringed instruments are going to be like, especially whether guitar or bass. I mean, they're constantly changing at a tremendous rate in a short period of time, you know.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I can't
You
wait.
might not have a fixed bridge at all anymore. You know what I mean? I
No.
don't know.
Yeah, when we were talking to Joe Balaguer, he was talking about them experimenting with different materials, like well, I think it's called flexwood or
Oh yeah, um
flaxwood or
it was like
flexwood.
Fox, like almost like what's that called? Like fake leather, you know,
Oh,
or
like
fake suede. Like it
like
was kind of
faux, like
yeah, it was
FAUX. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. It was
Yeah.
I think he said it was a French company or something, and it was kind of along the lines of like your Ridgelight wood or you know something along that lines. But so that just tells you there's more people out there dabbling in it, and
yeah.
they're
Definitely.
gonna come up with something good.
Yeah.
Now, is there no truss rod then in that in Aristides neck or
They come with truss rods.
Yeah, they still
Um,
got truss fed.
yeah, you don't really have to touch them once you set them up. That's kind of the good thing. You set them up once for how you need it,
and
and
it
then
just
unless something really fucks up, which is pretty rare, you don't even have to touch it.
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, sorry I went on this whole tangent. It's just I guess that's where I'm passionate about is guitars.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I talk about guitars all the fucking time. It's not even a problem.
Do you get the feeling like so I drummed in a band at one point and I've played guitar in bands and I always compare people be like, oh well what's the difference? You know, and I'd be like, well drumming to me, and I mean this in the best way, was a chore because I had to carry all my shit, you know, and you're carrying cymbal stands and you're right. And as a vocalist, you're coming out with a little bit less, right? So
Yeah, get to be a little bit more lazy.
yeah, no, you know, but it's and I mean it's everything has its importance and its own technical what do you want to say hurdles, right? But
Yes.
do you can you compare with guitar and vocals as far as let's say a typical Angelmaker tour for you set up, you know, everything and then Carcosa or Bastion?
Well, Carcosa is definitely night and day different from Angelmaker. I I won't say I have less responsibilities. I still have responsibilities. They're just in different ways. I take care of a lot of logistical stuff for Carcosa, especially on tour. But when it comes to like running our rig and all that kind of stuff, I am purposely hands off because in Angelmaker, that is like a primary part of my job. Is I built and I run our entire rig. So my job, the moment I walk into the venue, is finding out where the rig is going to go and building it. And
Okay.
that is definitely a whole other thing. That's a whole other set of responsibilities. But in terms of just like guitar and vocals, it's really nice having the difference. Honestly, it kind of keeps things a little bit fresh with touring. Like, you know, with vocals, I worry about like my ears being proper and like our scanning for wireless and everything being set up properly. And then for Angelmaker, you know, I tour pretty light. I have a quad cortex
Mhm.
and that's it. I plug it into our rig and then I don't really do much. So I keep it light on purpose because I don't want my day to revolve around my gear, ideally. I want it to
Mhm.
be something I don't really have to think about. So on both ends, it's pretty chill. Obviously, one is a lot easier than the other. Like, I mean, I carry a fucking microphone. That's it.
Right.
But, you know, make sure my XLR isn't tangled, I guess. But that's kind of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you too. So Cooper in Carcosa,
Yep.
I've seen you guys I think when you were on Garza's podcast and you were talking about like because he does a lot of I assume he does or did a lot of like your like the ambiance of the band, right? Like the like overall like sounds going on in the project. Is that true?
Yeah, that's definitely Cooper's strength is the guy likes movie scores about as much as I do. He has a very unique style when it comes to replicating that and what he hears as ambience. That's like,
Hmm.
you know, how before we were talking about leaning on people's strengths and bands. That's
Yep.
definitely a strength that we lean on Cooper for, is adding all of those really cool effects. And honestly, without it, our songs might sound kind of boring. Like we really rely on Cooper to fill out the soundscape of Carcosa. Like he brings the dread that we want. You know,
Mhm.
like Dissensus was a song that Cooper wrote fully, and it is like from top to bottom just like despair, and he creates such a great audio version of what that sounds like.
Yeah.
And I love Cooper for that, man. Like he's a unbelievable talent in the sense of he hears things that nobody else in the band hears, and it's
Yeah.
invaluable, you know.
Yeah, that's good, man. Everybody having their own strengths, and do you think with the Axe Forgets, the Tree Remembers as an album, do you compared to, your previous works in the band, do you feel that you guys are still honing your sound, or do you feel it's ever changing and that's the way you want it? Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I feel like we have a core sound. And when we were Carcosa used to be a band called Galactic Pegasus. That's what our original band was.
Mhm.
And we dismantled it because it sucked and we wanted to start over. So we started over and we wrote down some bands that we wanted to sound like. Like what does everybody agree on that we want the core sound of the band to be like? And we landed on Chelsea Grin, we landed on Humanity's Last Breath, and we landed on the Acacia Strain. So
That's a good mix.
those are very loose guidelines. That's kind of where we live, is in that ballpark. But besides that, it's kind of just like, let's just see what we write. We can make things sound like Carcosa. And I always want to try new shit. I don't ever want to put ourselves in a box, create a formula, and then stick to it to the sense of to our detriment. You know,
Mm.
I want to keep things fresh. And The Axe Forgets was an album that I ended up writing a majority of instrumentally because I had a concept and I wanted to roll with it. So I built a mood and I stuck with that mood. And it kind of ventures outside of what we normally do. You know, like we have a lot of songs that are a little bit more tongue in cheek that are about Star Wars or about fucking Tarantino movies and stuff. But I kind of wanted to hone in on something that melodically was a little bit more serious and had motifs and things that came back and kind of just make it a little bit more mature, at least for this album. And I don't know what that means in the future. Like we have our song Hindsight is full clean vocals. I don't know if I'm going to do that again. It was just something that I felt worked with the album. But we'll see. Maybe the next record we put out is ignorantly heavy and there's no space for clean vocals. Um,
Right.
I'm never gonna say no. You know.
Speaking of Tarantino, I just watched the new version of Kill Bill a couple days ago, like the volume 1 and volume 2.
The bloody affair, the full bloody affair.
Yeah, I forgot. Some of the lines in those movies are so cheesy, and I love it. It's just
Oh yeah,
that
it's
one.
it's my he's my one of my favorite directors of all time. But like I saw that movie in theaters, like the whole bloody affair. Sat through in the theater for like 4.5 hours
Man.
and watched it. But that first one was so good. Like
Yeah, it was.
just the whole Oshi Ren thing, like that being added onto it. You know, I think you probably could have skipped the second one. Like there wasn't really anything added to the second one, but the first one, like the whole fight scene with the Crazy 88
Oh my God.
going to
Yeah.
color and not black and white, pretty sick.
Oh my God, I forgot it was in black and white. That's what
Yeah.
was different. Oh my God.
Yeah, your brain probably was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a unique just mindset for writing from that guy, I feel like.
Yeah. It's inspiring.
There was so talking about the Axe Forgets, the Tree Remembers, and being a concept album. And I vaguely have read just how personal it is to you, just with past things of being younger and family things, right?
Yeah.
Without getting too far into that because it's just not the place. But I think the flow of the album, I feel that through that, and even that song title, that album title alone, sets the pace for that. You know.
Yeah, it's an analogy that, or an idiom that really paints a picture, and that's why I was so drawn to it. It encapsulated how I felt about everything I wrote about. Every song has a bit of that theme in it, you know, and
Yeah.
it was a cathartic thing for me. I'm okay discussing it, otherwise I wouldn't have written a whole album about about it, you know.
Right.
It's kind of a part of the vulnerability of writing about stuff that's happened in your past is you have to be okay with facing it. And that's kind of the reason why I wrote it in the first place, is to finally stop thinking about it so much to the point where I'm like, I'm going to focus my energy, all of this past trauma, into this body of work, and then I'm going to salute it and say goodbye, you know. And
Yeah.
it was a very important record for me to get out, and I thank my guys in my band for allowing me to kind of just take over for this record and just let me do it and let me get it out. I'm always going to be grateful to them for letting me kind of talk about this serious shit, because it comes with them too. You know, they have to answer these questions too. Obviously, they aren't involved in my stories, but everybody has something, you know, like no one's life is perfect. And it brings up a conversation that not everybody is comfortable having. But I think it's important conversations to have, especially as men, because there's a lot of stereotypes about, you know, us keeping everything in and not feeling like we can be open about stuff like that. But I think that changes now. I think it's the right time to talk about this stuff. And
Yeah.
I wanted to start a conversation, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Do you feel because I'm sure tracking it and writing it versus playing them live every night, right? Is it therapeutic for you playing them live and kind of working your way through them over and over
Yeah.
again versus just getting it out in a writing aspect in a one-time shot, you know?
The writing aspect of it was the harder part.
Yeah.
Because that's really when, you know, you're building it. You're writing the story,
Yeah.
and the story is unfortunately true. So
Right.
it's not a fantastical one, it's real. So when you're in the depths of it, and you have to access these parts of your brain that normally you wouldn't, um
Right.
initially it's very difficult. But live it becomes something else, you know, because of the theme of the record. Kind of, you know, I have a very bad relationship with my dad, and it's kind of liberating being able to just scream about it, you know,
Yeah.
and just like be forward and just be like, fuck you. it's
Yeah.
it's it's totally liberating. So now my view on it is like, fuck yeah, let's do 1983, where I can just get pissed about this shit, you know. And
Yeah.
like let's do Fade and just get fucking angry. Like, it's a natural emotion that's the best place to feel it. That's why we all listen to metal, I find, usually, or why we
Hmm.
all go to shows, is to expel the negative energy so that we don't go and fucking kill people, you know? That's like
Yeah.
that's our place.
Yep, for sure. Have you witnessed it all after writing these songs and playing them out? Have you had people come up to you either with similar stories or with taking a song that maybe um, wasn't meant to be positive at all, but they put a positive twist on that
Yeah.
song for you and showed it to you in a different way than maybe you realized?
Yeah, I mean, where the overtness of what I wrote about is very clear, people will still interpret things how they want. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what you give up as an artist when you write about stuff that's so personal, is somebody else will interpret it how they want to. And I think that's the beauty of art. Art is subjective. You take what you want out of it. And a lot of people have come up to me, you know, on tour and have shared similar stories to me. Or maybe it's about a grandparent, maybe it's about their mom, maybe it's about their sister. It's applicable
Mhm.
to a lot of people. And I think that's why I was so comfortable with talking about it, is because I knew that there were so many other people that have been through similar things that
Yeah.
if it provided catharsis for me in a selfish way, I hope that in a not selfish way, it provides catharsis for other people. And so far, it seems like it's done that on, varying scales. And I'm happy with that. That's a really good takeaway for being vulnerable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think front to back, it's a great album. I told you, I think the first day that it come out, I reached out to you and I'm just impressed with the overall. I think the flow, like you said, the clean vocals in it, I felt like it all fit. Um and that's why I say, like, is your sound changing a little bit just because that album is different compared to Nihilist or
Yeah.
some of the previous stuff you guys have done. But I think that at the same time, it's still Carcosa, and I imagine you guys are having a good reaction on from your fan base.
Yeah. I would say it's been overall positive. And we're just happy to release a record.
Yeah,
It's nice to have it under our belt. It's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
work goes into an album, man. Like so much. Like getting to that point is cause for celebration. We wrote that album alongside, me writing for Angelmaker as well. So both records took 3.5 years simultaneously at the same time. So the fact that
Yeah.
both of them came out is awesome.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
You
wild.
for
know?
sure.
That's a lot.
That's fucking awesome. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and even your Bastion stuff released recently too, right? So I mean, they were all
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, well, good
Busy
planning.
year. Busy year.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I want to talk about your feature on Aborted, Brotherhood of Sleep.
Yeah.
Uh, Dude, killer. The video that you made, like tracking some of that stuff. I know you say like, oh well, I haven't, I haven't been done vocals very long, or but I think to the person that doesn't know that, they'd be like, you have like every trick in the book, I think, man.
Damn. Well, thank you. Yeah. That was a humbling experience. What a cool opportunity.
Right.
We got to tour with Aborted on the Lorna Shore Pain Remains tour. And that's when I really got to know Sven really well, which was so trippy because it's Aborted.
Right.
They've been a band for 30 fucking years. They're
Damn.
one of the best extreme brutal death metal bands that have ever existed. And Sven is such a kind soul. Like he's one of those guys from the older generation of bands that is always thinking forward. He's like one of those guys. And the way he treated all of us was just so welcoming, and he was vulnerable and always wanted to have conversations about music and was just like a friendly human. So becoming friends with him was awesome. And he brought me up on stage during that tour to do one of Joe Bad's features from one of the songs that they did together before I did the feature with Aborted. And then after that tour, he asked if I would be down, and I obviously fucking said yes. So
Hell
he,
yeah.
you watch that video. So like he wrote obviously the features that I was doing, but kind of was like, do your thing, like do what you need to do. And anytime I do a feature, especially for a band like that, I give them more than they need so that I give them options. I don't want to give them less and then have them be like, we need you to do this again. I always want to avoid having to do things again. So
Right.
I make as much shit as possible. I record more than I need to and just be like, take whatever I did and do what you want.
Yeah.
And they did a fucking awesome job. I was honored to be on an Aborted song, and I was also honored to be mixed by Dave Attero because I think Dave Attero is one of the best producers in the game. So just a lot of very humbling things all rolled into one.
Yeah, I'll have to say I have always known Aborted, and I know like some of their stuff, but until I saw that your feature, I dove in a little bit deeper, and I kind of became a fan that way in its own right, just because you kind of shined a light on it that I hadn't really got into. But
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, their artwork is sick, has been sick for like ever. Like I was just looking back at, I love flashy, like, I know you're a fan of that too, because I've seen you talk about that as far as
Yeah.
even like your branding with like yellow and Carcosa and but I like early Black Dahlia like artwork and stuff. Like I always was drawn to that type of uh cool shit. So they
Oh yeah.
definitely pull it off well.
Yeah. If you ever feel like listening to other bands that Sven is involved in too, you should check out Coffin Feeder.
Okay.
Very, very similar vibe, but just a little bit different. And
Okay.
like same artwork style too, like crazy fucking artwork, like nuts.
Yeah.
So
Here's
worth it.
Yeah, I'll
another
check that out for sure.
here's another project too. I remember years back, it might have been like 10 years ago. It was with a female vocalist, and they almost had like a spirit box type thing going on. Uh,
I think you're right. I can't remember what it's called though.
yeah, it's been a while, but I remember their first single. I'm like, wow, that's really cool, and I'm like, is that the vocalist from Aborted? I'm like, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely likes to broaden his horizons as well. He definitely has a lot of variety to what he does.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's great though. That's another example, just like we were saying, of a think outside of the box. And it's no different than clean vocals mixed with deathcore nowadays in bands, like some of the projects you're doing. So
Mhm.
uh, I think having a narrow mind it just doesn't work, you know?
It just limits your ceiling, I think. I
Yeah.
think I think it caps you when you shouldn't have to, like I don't think it's necessary. Like might
Yeah.
as well. Like you can obviously go for a direct sound, Knock Loose sounds like Knock Loose and they always have,
yeah,
Mhm.
but even they're reinventing themselves every so often, right?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, look at like the collab with Poppy and stuff like that. That to me that's a step outside of the box, right?
Yeah, for sure. But even then, sick for Poppy because she sounded the most brutal she's ever sounded.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
and it kind of changed up a lot of the stuff that she's done. I
Hmm.
feel like she
Yeah.
she sways on the heavier side of things compared to some of her early stuff, I think.
Yeah. Talk
You
about
know.
somebody that's had a very crazy career is Poppy for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, that visceral scream she lets out at the end of Suffocate. First time I heard that, I was like, God damn.
Yeah. But it matches the band. Like
Yeah,
initially when you see that Poppy is featuring on a Knock Loose song, you're like, what does that even mean?
Right.
Like what does that sound like? And then she's in that song and you're like, oh fuck yeah.
yeah,
They
Right.
they complement each other so well. It's like a visceral bancie. It's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It sounded like brother and sister, like both. Like it is
Yeah.
wild seeing that.
More of like
Yeah.
just like a different pitch with the same style of,
Yeah.
scream.
It
Yeah,
it complemented it. It didn't take away
Yeah.
from anything. That's why I don't say no to stuff like that. you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because you never know what's going to come out and what it might bring to the table for, the things that you do professionally or
They got
not
nominated for
professionally,
a Grammy.
just for fun. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah,
what I
Jamie
mean? Like
Kimmel.
that's wild.
Mhm.
The Spirit Box on the Grammys. That's wild,
It's the coolest
yeah.
thing ever.
isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am Poppy. Yeah, that the whole thing was fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Oh
so
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. A year
Yeah.
ago, that was funny.
I
Yeah,
bet I
Courtney's the
bet she's
best.
sick of hearing that now.
She's got a great sense of humor. I'm sure she's cool with it.
Yeah,
It's got to be hard when like people that are fans, and I lump myself in this too, that only we only see little bits and pieces of that stuff, something that they do or that you guys would do. So they're always honed to that. Well, hey, we saw you did this, and you're like, shit, man, I've heard this 8 million times, but I will
Yeah,
tell
but it
you
comes
again what it's
it
all
comes with the
about.
territory though. Like you just have
Yeah,
to you have to be thankful that people are paying attention at all. So
yeah,
if
yeah,
people want to come up and talk about fucking pickup lines again and again and again,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I'm happy to have the support, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's cool to stay humble and still know that because you play a set list and you get used to. I was just watching a video before we got on the podcast. Adam D'Amigo put a new video out with I don't know the guy's name, but I think his name's Matt possibly. But he was
Oh, yeah.
like he's another guitar player, but he was asking Adam like songs that he didn't really care to play live anymore, whether it's due to them just losing their spark or so you might be able to guess what the song was that Adam said.
Oh, I wonder what Adam said.
But you know what though? But he said it in a good way. He's like, it's not that I don't like that song. He's like, but he compared it to like what is it, Prisoner of Flesh? Is that
Yeah.
is it the new? He compared it to that, and he's like, I have to focus so hard on playing that song live because it's by far technically the hardest song we have in our list. But he said when we play to the Hellfire, I can kind of just sit back and enjoy the song for what it is. So I think it's got its takeaways when you get used to material, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for Angelmaker, we can never not play Leech.
Right.
If we don't play Leech, people are gonna get really fucking mad. So
No.
we play Leech no matter what. I've been in the band for 5 years now, or coming up on I think it's 6 now. The other guys have been doing it for over a decade. So they've
Right.
played Leech even more than I have, times fucking 2. So I can only imagine how they feel. But we love playing it because everybody gets stoked. How can you not be stoked about that? You know?
Yeah.
And that song, because we've played it so many times, it becomes muscle memory. So you don't even have to worry about anything. All you got to
Right.
worry about is putting on a good show and entertaining the people that want to scream the lyrics.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll never get tired of playing that song. If that's the song that keeps us doing it, we'll play it, you know? And I'm sure
Yeah.
Adam is like, we're going to play till the Hellfire because we have to. He just
Yep.
knows, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Cannibal
I think
Corpse
it's,
now playing Fifth Right. Yeah.
Right. Hammer Smash Face or
That-
Hammer
that
Smash
one,
Face.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Strip Rape and Strangle is one of my favorites. So Sean, I'm glad you named that one too.
Yeah.
But
They got a lot of good ones. I couldn't choose.
oh, too many. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do think it's good to be able to, like you said, and like Adam said, a song like that to where the crowd's gonna feed off it. So you kind of live in that moment instead of like, oh, we want to show you this new song. Or, yeah, it's like Car Bomb with the Acacia strain, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, anything off Wormwood. I like
Mhm.
they'll play Beast, they'll play Hills Have Eyes. I'm sure they're tired of fucking doing it, but when it's
Yeah.
your most popular record, kind of hard to ignore, you know?
We had Devin on the show, and I told Devin, in my opinion, I think Beast has became their anthem when they play live. I know obviously Car Bomb, everybody wants to hear that too, but I didn't realize how much Beast kind of took over. And you see like to see that crowd response in a song like that, like it gives you goosebumps, man.
Yeah. And imagine from Devin's perspective too, similar to mine. I didn't write Leech. Devin didn't write Beast.
Right.
But he gets to play it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, he gets a good feeling when he does because it's like fucking sick, dude. People are beating the shit out of each other. And that song is literally an anthem, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm also a big Acacia Strain fanboy, so that's just the way I
Oh,
am.
dude.
Yeah,
You met your match,
Man,
dude.
some of DL's riffs are so good.
Yeah, they're one of my favorites.
I told Devin, I think like and I don't want to say this just because I don't want people to hack me, but like every important piece of my life has 3750 somewhere in it. Like my email has 3750 in it. Like not passwords. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of DL and I remember like what's the album before Wormwood? Was it the most known one or what's the one that's got like
Continent.
what wasn't there one in between Continent and Wormwood? Or was it just after Wormwood, maybe?
So after Wormwood was Death is the Only Mortal.
That album.
That
I
album's
feel like
also one of
DL
my favorites.
Yeah, it is good.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think DL was kind of like pushing like it was a different style for the Acacia Strain, no doubt.
It was the Acacia Strain doing their best imitation of Meshuggah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
kind of
for
what it
sure.
felt like. It was like DL really set a tone. Like there was so much more ambience on that record than any other Acacia Strain record before that. And you could tell that like everybody was kind of going through something at that
Hmm.
time. Like Vincent's lyrics were very nihilistic, they're very existential. And I think he was just fucking pissed and miserable, and it reflected through the lyrics. And
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it so much. Like Time and Death and God, that song has always been one of my favorites. Or
Hmm.
like, Mouth of the River, obviously that's the most like
Yeah.
Wormwood-esque song would probably be that one. But
Yeah.
dude, yeah, I love that album. I don't think it really gets talked about too much because some people didn't like the production that DL did. Personally, I like it,
I
but
liked it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
did
I kind
too.
of like all of it. So
Me too. I do
yeah.
too. I have to say, I am proud to say that I remember we went and saw the Acacia Strain at Peabody's in Cleveland, which I don't think is a venue no more.
Fair.
And DL had, I think it was a tape. I don't even think it was probably a CD, but he had the Dead Walk wasn't done yet. And he was
Wow.
showing us. So we got to the show way early. We were probably there 5 hours early, and they were all by their van. So we got to hear bits and pieces of that before it ever got out. I'm like, oh man, that's like,
It's the
it's
coolest
my
thing
life
ever.
in a nutshell, dude.
So fucking dope.
Yeah, great band for sure.
Mhm.
That's cool. That's an influence of, you said Carcosa, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of Vincent in what I do in the terms
Yeah.
of the directness of how I write my lyrics and how I perform them. Uh, Ideally as articulate as possible. And Vincent was always pretty good at that, so I've always tried to emulate that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Hey, what's up, Amy? Thanks for the raid. How you doing? Amy's
Yeah, that's
Amy's
one of our, hi Amy. One of
Amy's
our,
been
Hey,
sick. She's in the hospital with gallstones.
ooh,
oh
that's
no,
brutal.
Yeah, not
that
fun.
sucks.
I hope you're feeling better and they got you well medicated. Some painkillers.
Get
Is
it in you.
gallstone something you have to like pass? I'm unfamiliar.
Surgery potentially.
Surgery or pass? Ugh,
Yeah. Are
that
they like
sounds brutal.
dissolve?
Yeah, like ultrasonic, right? I think.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sucks.
knock on wood. I always freak. They're always like, "Oh, you drink too much pop." I'm like, "Oh, I'm doomed."
It
I'm gonna
might
have
be in your
gallstone
future, my
or
friend.
coffee.
I drink a lot of coffee too. It's definitely in mine as well.
Surgery or what? I wish for the best. Aw, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, the surgery might be the best thing though. You never know. But it's either that or pain.
So, dude, I was looking at your Angelmaker tour, and is the last show Detroit?
I think it is.
You
I think it
playing
should be in
St.
that.
Andrews for your last show for that leg?
Let me double check. I hope so because I love St. Andrews. Oh yeah, it is. Nice.
Now I see like you already have some shows that are being upgraded to bigger venues.
Yeah, Montreal, which is amazing. It's Montreal's like unbiasedly one of my favorite places in all of the world. So I'm stoked that that got upgraded. That's going to be such a fun show.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Well, hopefully, I think with the lineup you guys got there, you never know. You might have more, you know?
We'll see. We're cautiously optimistic. Either way, we're just happy to rip it up with our homies.
Yeah, for sure. So I got to talk about too. I love the Death Mass Divine cover.
Thank you.
Do you guys, how often do you play that or do you not?
Not at all. That was
Really?
so that I'll tell you the story of that. So when we were on Chaos and Carnage, is when we got the news about Trevor passing away. And after that tour, I kind of wanted to show our respect to Trevor and to the Black Dahlia murder in the best way I knew how, which is trying to cover them, respectfully. And
Mhm.
primarily being the Black Dahlia murder is the number one influence on Angelmaker. Like our melodic riffs, all that kind of stuff, the mellow death shit is all because of the Black Dahlia murder. And amongst everybody in the band, we all collectively cite that band as one of our main influences. So it was very important that I felt like we showed our respect to them, because so much of what we do is because of that band. And in between that tour and the Pain Remains tour, I did up that cover, which was super hard because that song is done in C standard on a 6 string, and I transposed it to drop A on a 7, and it made a lot of those riffs really fucking hard. And our plan for it was we were going to film a live video of us playing it at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. And we knew that some of them were present. Alan was there, which was very nerve-wracking knowing that before we started. But that was the only time, and will most likely be the only time we ever played that song live. Was in Detroit, in their hometown, home state at least. And that was it. We probably won't ever play it again. I can't imagine wanting to, because it's so fucking hard. It's really tough.
I think it's hard without the transposing, man. It's they're amazing guys, amazing band. I really hate when I'm online and I see people like just giving the band a hard time because of the changes since Trevor's passing, and I'm like, I just can't imagine, putting myself in the shoes of those guys and knowing the passion that that guy had for that band, that him and Brian, have lived their whole life in, and not wanting to carry it on in his memory. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I don't care if Brian screamed like a little girl in it. I would forever love it. And huge fan, always will be.
I don't know what people would expect them to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how could they find somebody to replace Trevor? And I don't think that was ever their intention with Brian moving to vocals. It's not to replace Trevor. It's to carry on the legacy that Trevor left behind. And who better to do it than his best friend? It's the heart and the intention is still there. And the people that are Dahlia fans that have been around, I think they understand that. They have heard Trevor do it so many times that it's ingrained in their head. The way Trevor performed, the way he does his vocals, that's always going to be in all of our minds. So whether Brian's version of that isn't as accurate as people would like, it's not the point. The point isn't to be accurate. The point is that they're still fucking doing it. And we should all be thankful that they are still doing it. I can't, it'll be a sad day when that band stops.
Oh,
and,
for sure.
We're lucky that we got the opportunity to tour with them. It was like a kid in a candy shop kind of thing, bro. With touring, not every single night I'll stand out and watch the full headliner set, but that tour I did every single night because it's Black Dahlia Murder. They're playing my favorite songs ever.
I came to that show, dude. I was at that was at Royal Oak, right?
Yeah. What a cool fucking show.
I used to talk to Trevor every once in a while on AOL Instant Messenger. His
holy fuck.
His tag name was Die Horror Cosmic, and I talked to him like right before or maybe it was right when Unhallowed came out. And I was like, man, this album's gonna be huge, and he's like, you're full of shit. It sucks. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, they wrote timeless music that we still enjoy to this day, and they built such a strong core fan base, and we're all still hanging around, and we're all still listening to everything they do, and it's inspiring, man. It's what we model ourselves after. It's what we hope to have, is a career that the Black Dahlia Murder had.
Yep, for sure. And I am looking forward to new music if they do it. Servitude rips. I don't think people have, the people that say things, they haven't listened to that album, because the Servitude, the song alone, I'm like, oh my gosh, like the guitar work on it is nuts.
Yeah.
And I think Brian sounds badass, dude.
Yeah. And now they got Wes Hauck. and there's no better guy than Wes.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
shit.
Holding it down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while I didn't know that was the same guy from he's in Glass Casket, isn't he? Like I think
Wes?
yeah. Oh,
Man, maybe. He's played in a lot of bands.
I think he was in the band way back in the day when they started. But yeah, I listen to Alluvial all the time. They got this one song. It's like I don't know if it's like fog belt or
Oh yeah, Fog Belt. Yeah, that
just
song is badass.
just that intro riff that is
Yeah.
it's so sick.
Seeing them
Yeah,
do it live, it's the best part of the fucking show.
Nice.
It's we've toured with Alluvial twice. Once in Carcosa, one in Angelmaker, and we love that band so much, so much. Kevin Muller is fantastic vocalist, great fucking person, and we love Papa Wes. He's the best.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Sean's right. Glass Casket, The Faceless, right?
Yeah, yeah. He did Autotheism, that record.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Dude, the scream you did at the end of that Aborted too, I got to talk about. I didn't get to say that early on. It's so long, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how has he still got wind to get that out?
Remember those water bottle blows I was telling you about?
Right, that was it.
A lot of
right.
it's to do with that. So yeah, and then when we toured with Aborted, when Carcosa did Archspire, Aborted, Alluvial, us, he had me do that song every night. So I had to do it every single night on
That's
top of
awesome.
doing a set. So it was fun.
Yeah, that's cool that you can get up there and actually do a live with them too.
Yeah, thank God. Whew.
Um, so Carcosa, you guys don't have anything talked about as far as 2026 and coming out yet, tour wise.
Yeah.
But you got Angelmaker, and that's huge.
Mhm.
And then something else I was going to ask you about here. I'm just looking at my notes here.
Mhm.
By
Well,
the way,
Carcosa,
I liked Scholastic Pegasus. I just wanted to tell you, I thought
did you?
it was still good, man.
Crazy.
Don't give it as bad enough credit as you want.
That band had many eras, many lineup changes, many sound changes, but you know, it's where we started, so it's our roots.
Oh, I know what we want to talk about. Sean and I want to talk
Let's
about
talk about penis.
penis lobotomy.
Yeah. What about it? What do you want to know?
So the funny thing, the other day we were talking on the phone, and we were coming up with all these horrible dick jokes to bring up, talking about the band name.
Yeah.
Sean said something about it being a heavy load on your shoulders or something. It was funny at the time. Yeah,
So
I
not
like
the
that.
question, like you want to take a load off or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the vibe of the project for sure. It was it's funny. So like, did you guys watch like the videos associated with penis lobotomy and stuff?
We just jammed a song because we were completely had no idea
Yeah. Okay.
when we
So
pulled you up, you know.
so I'll tell you about it. So I got invited to do this thing, which was based off of a concept of a show that Jared Dines already does called Musician's Mansion, which is like basically like a reality show for content creators. And that is more of a competition based thing. But he wanted to do something that was a little bit more drawn back from that, called Jam House. So he basically invited a bunch of us content creators to spend a week together in a house. And the goal was to basically just create. This is like a really good opportunity to meet new people, to meet other content creators and collaborate. So that was the entire primary purpose of doing Jam House, which was fucking awesome. But I already knew a few people that were going. I knew that Austin Dickey was going. I knew that Drusif Stalin was going, who is one of my favorite content creators of all time. And then me and Bana were both going. And we all, without even talking to each other, we all decided that we wanted to do an EP together. Just because, like, when are we all going to be in the same room again? You know, like let's just fucking see how this goes. And we ended up just writing a slam EP in like 4 days. Like we did other content work on the side, but at night we would spend a lot of that time going into the late night writing this fucking stupid shit.
That's awesome.
But it was so much fun, man. Like it was truly like a carefree experience where we had no intention of doing anything specific. We just wanted to write together and take advantage of the opportunity. And if it did well, then that's cool. But we definitely didn't do it for it to do well, considering the project is called Penis Lobotomy. So it was a fully just for fun project. And online, we have like pretty much the whole process was filmed. So every single part of like writing each song, all that stuff, you can watch it. You can watch the creation of the stupid shit we made. But dude, yeah, so much fun. What a blast.
Penis lobotomy is getting me choked up.
Or not, right?
Yeah.
Was that pre or post?
Yeah.
But yeah, really fun project.
It sounded
that's
sick
cool.
though. The song that Nat and I listened to, it sounded awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
even
that's all
joke or
Drusiv.
not, it's sweet.
Yeah, Drusiv is an incredible producer and an amazing songwriter. Like
Yeah, he is.
what such a talented guy, man. It was a true honor getting to write music with him, even if it was Penis Lobotomy.
I like his
Sure.
band, Gray Lotus. They got some really sick songs.
Yeah.
That and their vocalist, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
they're a fantastic band.
uh, he recently did a demo of this plugin I've been using, Hypertune. That thing is sick, man. I've been using. I've always been an Axe Effects guy, but
Yep.
recently I got rid of it just because I was starting to get option paralysis to where like I was opening it and like spending like hours and hours like tweaking it and like I just need something that works. So
Yeah.
I got a couple plugins, got that Hypertune, and I pretty much got the same setup I had on the Axe Effects, and he put a demo out about the Hypertune. I've been using that to get like that dissonant -1 semitone sound, that whole trick. But yeah, just between that and all his production videos showing you how to clean up 8-string tone and stuff, really cool.
Oh yeah. He's been one of the creators I've watched probably the longest. I've always told Andrew this. I watched him longer than I watched Andrew before I knew him. But they're both talented as fuck, man.
Trying to keep Andrew in his place. So like don't get too big, Andrew. I listened to somebody before you.
That's my job.
I actually reached out to him. So his recent clip that he did with the F sharp songs. Did you see Andrew's?
Yep.
So he did a couple Fear Factory and I think Divine Heresy. So I'm 43, so I remember those bands big time.
You know about it.
So I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that's pretty dope that you did, Divine Heresy and Fear Factory. And he's like, I really don't know those bands. And I was like, what?
Nope, he definitely
You
doesn't.
need to, dude.
He won't.
So I told him listen to Obsolete by Fear Factory, and then Divine Heresy. Obviously, just they didn't have a whole lot, but
Yeah.
they ripped too.
Yeah, Andrew likes to listen to what he likes to listen to for sure. He's the kind of guy that grew up. He started listening to music with like Linkin Park, and he kind of never looked back. He always has listened to heavy music, and that is exclusively what he listens to.
Yeah.
But he never really listened to a lot of the older bands, like Fear Factory and stuff like that. He's definitely more on he was the Gent era kid, right? So that's like where his true
Yeah.
like passion for listening to bands came from. So he never went back, and he probably won't.
I
It's
try,
just
man.
knowing him. I try to,
I told
bro,
him, I
every
was like,
day.
man, I'm like, Dino is kind of like a pioneer for some of that early low tune, like in the Meshuggah era too,
Yeah, extended
So,
range in general.
yes. Yeah. Well, hopefully he does. Hopefully he watches this and we persuaded him to listen to Edge Crusher.
I'll bother him as much as I normally do.
All right. But yeah, man, is there anything else you'd like to talk about as far as any new hidden projects you're going to add on to this long list of Johnny's too busy to be alive, basically.
No, not really. Carcosa has stuff booked for next year. We just haven't announced it yet, but we're getting
Okay.
there. But yeah, no, I'm just touring as I normally do, and writing as much as I normally do, and putting out content as much as I can, and that's kind of the status quo for me. That's mostly it. We covered a lot of pretty good things in this interview, and I appreciate your questions. You asked some great ones.
Oh,
And
thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for being here,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me and being genuine human beings. It creates a good flow for an interview, and I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. We enjoyed it too, and yeah, looking forward to just whatever you're doing with any of these projects and your own stuff. I'm always following. Sean's following. And hopefully people on the show here will follow too that aren't already. And if you don't listen to heavy music, listen to Angelmaker, Carcosa, or Bastion, or Penis Lobotomy. And
The list is too long.
yeah, man.
It's a long
Yep.
one.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
thank
the
you so
pleasure's
much,
been
guys.
ours, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll be in touch, man.
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
All right,
Yep,
everyone.
for sure.
Have a great night.
Thanks, y'all.
See y'all.